Epping Forest is the largest public woodland area in London, and I think it's mad that I've never been here before. That is until today. It's located in the district of Essex, England. It has over 100 ponds, spans over 6,000 acres, and has over 50,000 ancient trees. I got invited here by a local girl, Oge, who is the London leader for Black Girl Hike UK, an organisation created in 2019 to provide a safe space for black women to explore the outdoors. Rub it. Yeah, smell this one, it's stronger.
It smells like
A fruit? Think
Yeah.
about it, think about it.
strawberries.
No. Look at the colour, might give it away. It's a sweet.
Oranges.
No.
What is it?
Pineapple!
Ah!
Pineapple cone, yeah.
It does not smell like.
You gotta get one that's good, and then,
Maybe because I don't really like pineapples.
yeah, pineapple.
Ah.
Yeah.
What kind of plant is it?
Pineapple cones, I think, pineapple.
That is so. Do you do quite a lot of what's it called?
Foraging. Well, I just started getting into it a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even this is clovers.
Oh.
This one is clovers. I just started getting into all of this.
So there's there's a path. I think we'll walk past it, but there's a path, and you get like a really big sense of what do you call it?
Wild
Garlic.
garlic.
Yeah.
Maybe it's wild garlic.
Okay, it might be.
Because there's like loads of like free food out here
Yeah.
that we don't really know about.
I've never done foraging before. This is so wild to me.
So now when you're walking, you'll notice it now because
Yeah.
I never noticed it before myself. But
Yeah.
then I started like I was out on a walk, and then I started knowing about edibles and non-edibles,
Yeah.
and I became interested in it because it was like raw, like there's so much food out here that we can be eating, and it's naturally grown.
Yeah.
It's not like we have to go to the supermarket because, you know, GMO and everything. So like, yeah.
But then can you eat this though?
I think you can put this in salads.
Can you?
I think so. Don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on it. But I'm sure you can use it, because the thing is that a lot of like clovers, I know you definitely can eat, and
Yeah.
you can dry them and use them in tea,
Yeah.
like herbal kind of tea.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's loads of it everywhere.
Do you know what? I would never have noticed, or I'd never have like thought, oh yeah, this is something that you can eat.
Like,
or
yeah. Even like berries.
yeah.
You seen berries and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah. So let's get into it anyway. So how did you like come across like Black Girls Hike and?
Do you know what? I started going hiking, or I started taking up an interest in hiking in like 2018. And one of the things that I noticed when I was out hiking was that there wasn't a lot of black people that I saw, or even black women. And I just thought that like I'd really love to just find a community where I can see people that look like me or that have that similar interest. Because growing up, I never really thought that hiking was for black people. Like, it just wasn't something that we did. And then yeah, I just went on Instagram to just see if like whether there was a black women's hiking group. So I just typed in black women hiking, and then BGH came up, and I remember I followed the page. And then Rianne followed me back, and then we were just like messaging over Instagram. And then one day she just asked me, oh, how would you feel about like leading walks in London? And I thought, oh, that would be really great. And then yeah, and I did, and then just became like the London leader for Black Girls Hike.
That's amazing. Like literally that story, just, even though it's like so simple, it's amazing because it's like, right, like you was looking for it, and then you found something, fortunately as well.
Yeah.
You came across something like that, because even for me as well, like I wasn't into outdoors like that. And trust me, I wouldn't have said, what's that on the floor? I would have been maybe kicking some stones or something out of my way, or like I was not into outdoors at all until I went to the Amazon in 2018 as well. So that's when I started getting outdoors.
Yeah.
I went to the Amazon with British Explorer Society, and then from there I just got into I started loving nature and getting out, and I saw how much it benefited me, because like, you know, phones and stuff like that were constantly on, and we don't really notice it that much because of like city life and Western world. I feel like a lot of the time we're sucked into it, so we don't really get that kind of break, if you want to say, that sense of like when we're out here, for instance, like you just feel different. You don't feel like all the pressures and of the world. Or
so what was it for you, like when you went to the Amazon, that like clicked for you, that was like, yeah, this is something that, you know, I want to do more of, or, you know, I want to see more of, or I'm really, you know, into this? What was the clicking point for you?
I feel like I didn't have a click when I was there.
Okay.
Like, when I was there was no click. I was just in it. It was like I had to like process it afterwards, because I had a new drive in me, and I was like, where's this coming from? It then sunk in like some time after, and I was like, wow, it's just simply being out in nature and the outdoors that triggered this like sense of, I don't even know what the words are for it, the sense of wanting to give back, like more, wanting to like enjoy more spaces like this, because I then associated like nature and outdoors with like peace of mind and stuff like that. So that's that's where I think it kind of clicked for me. And I kind of started, I think that's what it was. It's one of those things that you can't really put words on it. It's like a natural thing that happens. I feel like even like back home, because I'm like half Jamaican, half Pakistani. I feel like there as well, nature is, you're one with nature. It's not separate. So like, when I felt that, it's a thing where it's just like reconnecting back with what I was originally meant to be doing. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. I hear that.
But I saw that recently you went to Devon. And,
yes.
And in Devon, you guys were doing some wild swimming. Was it wild swimming?
No, it was kayaking and, what was it? Paddleboarding.
So do you guys swim? Does everyone swim? Or
some people do. I mean, for me, I can't swim.
You can't swim?
No.
Oh my God. But you was doing the paddling and stuff.
I was, and I was scared a little bit, even though the water was like
shallow.
I was still a bit scared. But that is one of my goals that I've promised myself, to learn how to swim. Because I think it's a life skill.
Definitely.
And I think it's really important to know how to swim.
Definitely.
But yeah, Devon was really fun. Just being able to like kayak and just paddleboard, especially when you live in the city, you don't really get to do those things. Like, it's not easily accessible, and so being able to like go to Devon and do that was just really fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I can't believe that you can't swim though. Like I was actually a part of like a film as well, Blacks Can't Swim. I'm not sure if you've heard about that film, but it's like a film documentary that addressing how much like black people in UK don't swim, and the drowning rates and stuff like is crazy. Like for blind people, like 95% of adults don't swim in England, and 80% of children don't. So it's like raw, like we, as you said, it's a life skill, and like even water safety and stuff like that. It's like something that needs to be, I feel like everyone should learn about it more, and you should definitely learn to swim.
No, I really do want to learn to swim. I think like just even my experience with swimming was the only, like the introduction that I had was, you know, in primary school where you get those free swimming lessons, and then, you know, it gets to a certain point and then it ends. And it's kind of like, we all know the importance of learning how to swim, but why isn't it kind of like really taken forward when you go through school and stuff. And like, I come from a really big family, and it just wasn't a priority. Like, when you have, you know, maybe 6 kids under the age of 15, what time do you have to pay for all of them to get private swimming lessons? It just, it's not accessible, and it's just not affordable, especially if you're like in a single parent household.
Definitely, that's true. That's a big factor I feel as well, because I know even for me it was hair. Like my hair, the chlorine and stuff like that, it was just like every single time.
And it's hard to explain to people that, you know, like, the swimming caps don't fit your head, especially if you've got braids, or you've got like locks, or you have a hairstyle that requires you to have, you know, larger swimming caps. It just felt like everything was not designed for, you know, people like me. So it wasn't necessarily something that, although I enjoyed swimming, but it just never was seen as a priority or something to learn or do beyond what we were given in primary school.
I feel you on that. Even me being involved in that film, like, it made me even see, like, oh, like, I'm not swimming enough, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, what other things do you do that to engage with outdoors and nature?
Do you know, it's mostly hiking, you know?
Yeah.
But I'd love to, another thing I was thinking about this year is, like, learning how to surf. I'd really love to, but then also I need to learn how to swim before I do that.
You could probably do both though.
Yeah, I could.
Because I feel like with swimming, one of the most important things is like learning how to float.
Yeah.
And paddle, because floating saves people's lives. So if you're not a great swimmer, knowing how to float is what will save you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you could still like try and do both, maybe.
Yeah, I do want to. I don't know if there is anything else that I'm particularly interested in learning or doing. I'm happy to, like, you know, do the experience of it. So, you know, like rock climbing or something like that. But I don't know, I don't feel like there's anything that has really stood out to me the way that hiking has. You know.
What is it about hiking that makes you...
I think similar to what you were saying, like, you know, just being out in nature, you don't always feel like you have to grab your phone. You can really be present in the moment. And I think for me, and even just living in the city, we're always so accustomed to being busy all the time.
Wow. Sorry, this place is beautiful. Yeah, sorry, we're always accustomed to being busy.
Being busy, having something to do, you know, and in London it's always like go, go, go. But when you're out hiking, like, I don't walk, when I'm out, I walk really fast. When I'm hiking, the pace of my walking slows down because I'm able to, like, think about my steps, think about my breathing, just really being present. And I just really love that, like, out in hiking, because it just stops me. I wouldn't say stops me, but it just helps me really put things into perspective and give me that space to think and, you know, cancel out the noise around.
I feel that. That's deep. That's deep. Yeah, I feel that. Even like me, when I'm out, I'm walking fast. I'm not trying to, like, because the city life is, like, we're accustomed to it, like, fast movements, packed places. Like, here, like, there's, I can't see anyone else here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just feel freer. Even like how you see that animals and like the wildlife and stuff as well. And just seeing how beautiful Mother Nature is. And having like a sisterhood as well through like Black Girls Hike. What's that like?
It's good. I think like being able to go out with people that share the same passion with you, and even just taking people out like for the first time that have probably never done any hiking before, like just to see like them have that click moment of, oh wow, is this what like hiking is about and stuff. For me, that's what I've really enjoyed most about like being a part of Black Girls Hike.
Do you have like a memorable moment that, or like?
I do actually. I think my most memorable moment will be the first ever hike that I led, which was in Epping Forest. And it was last year, August, and I remember I was nervous because I thought, okay, maybe only 30 people will come, 50, because, you know, it's been in lockdown and, you know, people want to get out. As I was coming out of the station, like I saw about 30, 40 women already there, and I thought, okay. And I was just like getting really nervous. And then as like we were waiting for, and it wasn't even like the time that we were meant to, it was still quite early. We hadn't gotten to the meet time yet. So as the meet time is approaching, like as the train doors are opening, it's just like a sea of black women just coming out. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And by the time we started walking, there was about 90 women. Yeah,
That's
I had never seen anything like it before. And then I remember we were crossing the road and I was like, okay, I'm going to do a head count. And I counted 100 people. And I just thought, this is mad.
It is mad.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. And then it was funny because someone asked, are you girls on a march? Are you doing a protest? But then I think for me, it's just, we never really see that, like black women just out in the outdoors, just exploring and doing all of those things. And yeah, it was just, that's my memorable moment.
Has there been like any challenges or stuff? Like being out, like when you've gone out with like loads of black women and you're just on a hike, has there been any challenges that come along with it?
Yeah, I would say like people assuming that you don't know what you're doing, people giving unsolicited advice. Yeah, I think those have just been the main two challenges. But when I'm walking or hiking with the group, I'm really not thinking about the challenges. I'm just thinking about, is everyone having a good time, or, you know, is this enjoyable for everyone? Just wanting to make sure that everyone is safe and, you know, we can experience the fullness of being outdoors.
So have you camped before?
I have camped. I actually really like camping. I think my maximum camping is 3 days.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm like, nah, I need to have a proper shower. Can't deal with it.
So like, you see, like when you've been out camping, like, and you've had like, maybe, I don't know if you've been like on your monthly or something like that. Do you have any like tips as well for some girls that might go out on, because as you said, 3 days is like the max, and you're like, nah, I need to bathe, like.
Do you know what? I don't, you know. For me, my preference is, I wouldn't say you shouldn't go, but I personally wouldn't go if I am on my period, because, you know, I just want to be as comfortable as possible. And sometimes being on my period just doesn't make me feel comfortable. But there are people that do have a lot of tips out there, you know, in terms of how do you safely, you know, go camping or go exploring when you are, you know, on your period and stuff. But I've never done it, so I can't speak from experience.
That's calm. Like, what other things? So you see, like someone that is not, they've never gone hiking before or done anything like nature-y or outdoorsy. What would you like suggest to them in order to kind of get involved? Like some people might be intimidated as well, like by groups and stuff. So what would you like advise someone like that?
I would say try and find somewhere that's local first. Don't kind of like say, okay, yeah, I really want to go hiking, and then go and pick the toughest route there is out there. You know, start small. And if you're like intimidated by a big group, then, you know, try and take 1 or 2 people you feel comfortable with. Find a small route, and then, yeah, try it. And then, you know, build from there. I think, you know, for me, sometimes I can be like all or nothing, or like, you know, oh, I've got to do this big challenge, but you don't really, but you're not necessarily equipped to kind of do that when you're at like an early stage. So I think my top tip would be to find somewhere local, and find kind of a well-established path, and go with, you know, someone that you feel comfortable with. So take someone with you, and always let people know where you're going.
Definitely the safety aspects, because
Yeah.
sometimes as well, like you're saying, we can like just think, yeah, I'm going for it, and then no one even knows what's happening with us. So,
Yeah.
and then we're kind of putting ourselves in danger. But
Yeah.
so like as I mentioned before, I didn't really get out much before, but now I'm getting more outdoors, and I'm realizing how important it is to get like fresh air, especially like with pollution, like all the gadgets we're always using, and just having that space where you can just be one with nature and be outdoors and feel free. And yeah, I just feel like, what's also another thing that I wanted to ask you, in fact, because both of us, we got our hair did. Like, what's some of the hairstyles you might say, like, when you're out on a hike? Because, for instance, my hair right now, I got this headband here, because I know if this was with my face right now, I'd be feeling hot. I'll be like, nah, I don't know if I can do this hat kind of thing. What hairstyles would you kind of advise? Or
it really does depend on the hike. One thing that I never really considered was how important like hairstyles are when you are hiking. So I remember when I went to the Peak District and I was at Kinder Scout, and obviously like what you wear is important as well. So I had a waterproof jacket, and the Velcro just kept on getting stuck on my extensions, and so it was like every time I'm trying to pull it, and you know when you're trying to put your hood up, and it was just so like fidgety, and it was just annoying, and you're just thinking about your hair. So I'll try and like have my hair up away from my face, and things like that. But another thing that you know you have to consider is like if you're camping, or you want to do water sports, or you want to be in the water, if you are camping or you've gone out hiking, I tend to not do that when I have braids in my hair, because even just to dry them after they've been in water is just really annoying. So I have to like take that into consideration whenever I am kind of like camping or going out hiking. I always try and have my hair away from my face and you know anything else as much as possible.
so in the city, what's some of the things that you do, like outdoors activities, whether that's like cycling? Do you do some cycling or anything like that?
I do. I think during lockdown I really enjoyed cycling. So I was living in East London, and there's a really nice cycle pathway, you know, from where is it, so around like Woolwich and Greenwich and all of those areas. So it was really nice to be able to cycle through them and just see like another side of London. I think, you know, one of the things that I am grateful during lockdown was that I got to be outside a bit more, and I got to see different parts of London that I don't think I would have seen if you know life was continuing the way you know that it was.
So for like girls and women from inner cities, what would you advise them to do, or how could they get involved with Black Girls Hike or with general outdoors activities?
I would say just try as many as possible and find which one works for you. So like if you do want to be involved in Black Girls Hike, then you know you can find us on all social platforms, so Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. We have an Eventbrite page, BGH_UK, where we advertise all of our walks and hikes. But spaces do fill up really quickly. So I'd say, you know, come on a hike if you're not feeling fully confident to go out on your own. Find a hike in your area with us, and come out and explore and, you know, see if hiking is for you. Hiking isn't for everyone, and that's okay. But at least try it once. You know, and then just look at different activities, you know, that you may find interesting. So whether it's wild swimming or, you know, those different types of, finding different types of swim groups. even rock climbing or indoor climbing. Just find an activity that you are interested in, try it once, and then see if you want to continue. Sometimes outdoor activities like that isn't for everyone, and I think that's okay. So yeah, those are I'd say my top tips.
Thank you.